Hey y'all, welcome back to the channel. It's been raining here, so we haven't been going to the tractor pulls. We worked all that time to get Plan B and monkey business all up and running and going and all safe and sound, and the pole's been rained out. So it's going to give us time to work on some other projects. We got a golf cart here, so that's what we need to do. So let's get the camera turned around and I'll show you what we got and what we're going to be doing. Alright y'all, I don't know if I showed this on the channel before. This is a Cushman Commander EZGO. It's a 2200 SE. I picked it up cheap because it was non-running. I could get it to run a little bit, but it's got some carburetor issues, so I went online and I bought a cheap Amazon knockoff carburetor. Come with a carburetor, fuel pump, all that. So let's get this tarp off of here and we'll get that carburetor changed out and see if we can get to using this thing, because my mama's cart is electric. It's 36 volt and she's had it now probably going on 10 years, and the batteries have finally decided to take a crap, and they're $2,200 for a set of six 6-volt batteries, or six 6-volt batteries to make the 36 volt. I don't know if the cart's worth $1,200, so we're going to try to get this gas one going, maybe take it over and see if she wants to use it. So alright, let's get this tarp off here and we'll get to wrenching. Alright y'all, changing this is pretty straightforward. Carburetor's right here. This is the air intake on this one. First thing we gotta do is, well, don't have to take that end loose. We can take this end here loose. Maybe easier said than done. Of course, drop your tools on the ground because we're working outside. There we go. Can roll that right up out of the way. Lay our clamp out of the way. Take this little crankcase breather out of the way. And there'll be two 10mm size socket bolts here, or nuts. Take those out. Little restrictor plate comes off, and then two more, or the carburetor should slide right off the studs that come up through here. So let me grab my impact and some other tools here, because I'm going to need some pliers to take the fuel lines off, and we'll get this thing taken off here and swapped out. So be right back. Alright y'all, I wanted to get down in here and show you. There's a little linkage right here. This is your governor linkage. We need to pop that off. You can just stick a screwdriver in there and pop it off. And then down here behind there, right down in there, that's your choke cable. And once we get it loose, we can loosen that little set screw right there, pull this cable up out. So yeah, so let me get the bolts. Here's the bolts in the front of the carburetor. So let's get that. I'm gonna get that out of there, and we'll pull this thing out. So all right y'all, zip this off of here. Keep your nuts. And there's your little plate. I'll lay this in the bed. And then there's actually four bolts in here. Two like that. And then the other one. Come on, get on there. There's that one. There's that one. So there's those. And this little adapter. Some of them will have an air cleaner right here. Some of them won't. Little metal spacer that goes in this. Keep it from crushing. Don't lose that. And then here's your bracket for the choke and the governor. So, alright, I got to get down in here and loosen my little nut up, or sorry, stud up. I'm just going to use a pair of needle nose pliers, give it a couple little turns. That choke cable should come right up out of there. Should. There it goes. That's up out of there. And then pop that governor linkage off there, throttle linkage. There you go. And then we should be able to pull this carburetor. That's my breather for the crankcase. We'll get held up by that old crusty fuel line. So come on off there. We're just barely touching the starter generator. There we go. There. Okay. See, these lines are all old and crusty. Grab my pliers. We'll pinch it right there. Pull it off. And there's the carburetor off. So I did check this carburetor, and it's wore out. It's not worth rebuilding, so we're just gonna throw a new one on it. So let me grab the new one, and we'll get her in place. All right, y'all. Wind's picked up here. Hope that's not disturbing you guys too much. We got a new gasket put on there. Let's see if we can get our carburetor kind of stuck down on there. You know what? I'm gonna have to move that. I bent these bolts the last time taking it off of there. This is the exact same carburetor, but yeah, I can't get it to fit down in there, so I don't want to bend these studs up again. So I'm gonna loosen this starter generator up, get it dropped down out of the way, and then we'll install this carburetor. There's an adjustment over on this side over here. Looks like a bolt, like an L-shaped bolt. I just need to loosen it and drop that starter generator down. So, all right, let me get that done. We'll bring you guys back. All right, y'all. I got this thing loose here, so now we can get this slid in there like that. Like that. Need to pour. There we go. Bring our throttle cable and all that back around. Our choke cable, I'm sorry. There we go. All right. Got that back on there. Now for starting purposes, or trial purposes, I'm just going to run a couple nuts back on here and hook the old fuel line back up. And we'll see if we're pumping fuel, because I did get a new fuel pump, but if I don't have to use it, I'm not going to. I'll save it for something else. So alright, now I just need to get the fuel line pushed back up on here. There's that. Bring our little spring clamp back up. I will hook up our choke cable and governor linkage, but I need to put the belt back on that starter generator, and so yeah, let me get that done, and then we'll guess do a test fire. Well, I probably should charge the battery too, so it'll be a little bit. Alright, y'all, got the I actually put a new battery in there. This new battery didn't have a good charge on it, so I still got the battery charger on it. I have ran it enough to get fuel pumped up to the float bowl, so let's see what this thing will do. Give it a little choke. Alright, y'all, see a little backfire there. I think it has a little sticky valve possibly, but yeah, the old carburetor wouldn't do that. It still does have some old bad gas in it. I put some fresh gas in it with some system cleaner, but yeah, she's running. So I'm gonna button up putting the air cleaner adapter and stuff back on it, and get that all buttoned up, and probably let this thing charge overnight, and then tomorrow we'll take her for a test run. So thank you all, and we'll bring you guys back when we do the test run. Alright, y'all, we took the golf cart for a test drive. I did video it, but it was just nothing but shake. So I'm not even going to include it because it'll give somebody motion sickness. So yeah, that's going to end the video. So appreciate you all for watching. If you would, please hit the like button. Leave me a comment down below if you like this content. If you don't like this content, leave me a comment. You know, it's what we're doing here in the shop. So appreciate y'all, love y'all, and we'll catch y'all on the next one.